Okay, so here we have a diagram of IP addresses and the routers and interfaces in a network. And today we're going to show you how to make a routing table for router A in this diagram. So first things first, we're going to draw out the outline for this routing table. So now, let's explain what we have here for the table. We have one column for the rows, we have another column for the network/subnet, then we have the mask with the prefix, we have the metric, the interface, and the next hop router. So once we have our routing table set up, the first thing that you have to do now is you're going to have your default row. So that's going to be your first row. So for your default router, you're always going to have a network of 0.0.0.0.0. Then for your mask, since your network is 0.0.0, your mask is also going to be 0.0.0.0 with a prefix of, you guessed it, 0.
So what exactly is metric?
That's a great question, Eric. A metric is a method to help the router choose the best route among multiple feasible routes to a destination. The route will go in the direction of the gateway with the lowest metric. In this example, we're going to use the number of hops between routers as your metric. For example, if we use this diagram here, let's say you're starting at router A and you're trying to get to the IP address of 128.196.0.0/16. This will be one hop because you have to go through router B to get to this IP address. Also, you're starting at router A and trying to get to this IP address, that as well will be one hop. But if you're starting at this IP address trying to get to the middle IP address in this diagram, that will not cost you anything. That will be 0 on the metric because you're going through your own route.
Professor?
Yes, Eric?
I don't think that's correct.
Yes, Eric, you are correct. You're not really going from this IP address to this IP address. Really, you're starting at router A and going to this IP address, which will cost you nothing.
Okay, and the default router is B.
So now, with that information, we can figure out what the metric is, the interface, and the next hop. So, since this is a routing table for router A, and the default is B, your metric here is going to be 1. And that is because you're going from here to here, which is going to cost you a metric of 1. Now, going on to the interface, since we're starting at A, and we're going over here to B, you can see here that we're going through interface 2. Going down here, we'll bring you through interface 1, which is not what we're going to do. We're going to go up to B through interface 2. So we're going to write here, interface 2. Your next hop, that's just simply the router that it's taking you to. So you're going from here, your default is B, so your next hop is going to be B. So now that we have the default row done with, we're going to go into our first network right here, 128.196.30.0/24. You write in the IP address under network. Then, now that we know how to do the mask, we're going to do 3 255s because your extended network prefix is 24. Now, going on to metric. Your metric is 0, and that's because if we're going from router A to here, you're not going through any other routers, and your metric is the number of hops between routers, which is 0. So 0, going through interface 1, because you're going from router A to this, which goes through interface 1. Next hop, this is a special row in that you're not going to any other router because you're staying here, which is known as a local. So now that we have the basics done with rows 1 and 2, you should have been able to do rows 3, 4, and 5 on your own. I'll explain to you real quick though. So for row 3, we have this network here. You're starting at router A, you're going through interface 2. You're not going through any other routers, which makes it a local. and that gives it a metric of 0 since it is a local. So now that we're on row 4, we're going to be doing this network here. Once again, you're starting at router A, you're going here. This gives you your next hop as B because you have to go through router B to get here. Also, the metric's going to be 1 because you're going through one router. Also, your interface going from here to here is going to be interface 2 because you're going this way, therefore interface 2. So now we're going to do row 5, which is this network, which is here on the chart. Since we're starting at router A, you're going to be going through interface 2 to here. A little trick, put your finger on and follow through on a path. So through interface 2, going to router C, which makes C your next hop router. Also on the metric, for the metric it's going to be 1 because you're going from here to here, going through C. The number of hops, we have 1.
And that's how you make a routing table.